almost like hiking a mountain trail. Hey, what was going on in the world today? I was reading a lot of stories how I guess more supermarkets here are gonna make masks mandatory to go inside. Some places they're doing it, some places they're not. Although it's getting me to think too, just in general, whether or not people have that perception still where if you wear the mask, you're like 100% protected, but that's not the case because they said the droplets are like too small, I guess, where they can actually go right through certain masks. So in that case, you still gotta spread apart. So when I read this story, it made me think, okay, this isn't going to end well, I guess, overall, if the fear is about, I guess, the virus. This one says, chaos erupts as hundreds of shoppers rush doors of new grocery store. New Asian Food Center was offering free pressure cooker to the first 100 shoppers. Look at how many people there are trying to get inside. Now granted, like again, they all have masks and so forth, but to my understanding, that does not protect you like 100%. So even with these, I guess you could say, restrictions or requirements, if you're doing stuff like this, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. What started as a celebration quickly devolved into a chaotic scene on Friday as hundreds of shoppers rushed to the doors of a new grocery store in northeast Calgary until police stepped in to send people home. Shoppers rushed the doors at a new Asian Food Center in Saddle Ridge, trying to take advantage of a special offer, a free pressure cooker for the first 100 people to enter. Karen Jot Ball was in line waiting to enter the store when things started to get out of control. They all crowded to the door and tried to pile themselves in, like pushing and shoving. No one was social distancing either, not even in the line to begin with. I guess that's one thing that hasn't changed during the pandemic. When people want deals, man, I guess they'll fight for it no matter what. So as people were pushing up against you, there was a lot of elderly people here that were getting pushed over and nobody was helping them up. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, cops are definitely needed. We need to shut this place down. I would imagine here, funny enough, not having a mandatory mask versus having, say, people keeping their distance and limiting the amount of people that can enter into the store would probably be safer than people jam-packed like a can of sardines even with mask on. Because to my knowledge anyways, from what I read, you can get it like from what, if it goes into your eyes and all that too. So yeah, it's just interesting again, like I said, in the future to see who got it right and who got it wrong in terms of how to handle all this pandemic stuff. And with things like physical distancing and all that, there's a lot more police departments using things like drones for it. Although this one, basically it talked about how they're questioning the budget, I guess, to actually use the money to buy drones. This one says, Hamden Police Department defends drone purchase with coronavirus relief grant. The police department plans to use a drone for delivering announcements to homeless communities during the pandemic. Using a grant from the Department of Justice, the department will acquire a $33,000 drone the chief said will help in the search and rescue traffic accidents and communicating with at-risk communities. The Legislative Council held a public hearing for Police Chief John Sullivan and others to address the concerns about the department's purchase. The department received $82,363 grant from the Department of Justice as part of the Coronavirus Emergency Supplementary Funding Program, meant to help municipalities in preparing for and responding to the coronavirus. So it says they plan to buy the Matrice 300 RTK, and it says Sullivan said initially the drone was intended to monitor large gatherings and social distancing during the pandemic, but now it will only be used to communicate information to the community, specifically at-risk populations, assist with traffic accident scenes, and be utilized during search and rescue operations. So I guess the debate is, are you just using this as an excuse to buy the drone for your department? When the police department initially submitted the request to the council, the body voted to remove the drone purchase from the grant spending. But the police department included the drone again when the spending request was resubmitted. So they're really, I guess, insistent, like, we want a drone. Alright, see you guys later.